Hey Libra, welcome to Sweet Tea Astrology and Tarot. My name is Erica. Welcome to the channel. I'm so glad you found me. This is your February 2017 astrology video where I'm also going to, in addition to talking about the stars, I'm also going to pull 4 tarot cards for you and 2 oracle cards for you, one from 2 separate decks. So, Libra, why don't you sit a spell so we can talk about the stars? On February 3rd or 4th, depending on where you live on the planet, we are going to have Venus, the planet of love, beauty, and harmony, moving into Aries to meet up with Mars and Uranus. This is occurring in the 7th house for you. The 7th house is ruled by Libra. It's the house of partnerships and relationships and how we identify who we are as a human being through those interactions with other people, those close inner circle relationships. That would be work relationships, intimate partnerships, familial relationships, the people that you deal with on a regular basis. The 7th house also covers counseling, and it covers open enemies. But with Venus moving in, I don't think that it's going to be so much of the open enemies. I think it's going to be dealing with situations that may have been a little heated are probably going to cool off some. There'll probably be a little bit more of an ease to conversations in those areas. Could be feeling a little bit more charming. It's a little bit easier. The energy is a little bit lighter because Venus is happy in the 7th house. Venus is Venus is your ruling planet, Libra. And Libra, you rule the 7th house. So, on the 7th or 8th of the month, depending on where you live on the planet, Mercury, the planet of thought, movement, and communication, is moving into Aquarius to join up with the Sun. And this is occurring in your 5th house. Now, the 5th house is ruled by Leo, and it is it's the house of the artist. It's the house of creation and that creative spark. It is the house of your social circles, how you interact in those social circles, the pleasure that you seek while you're in those social circles. It also covers romance and dating, falling in love, and your children or the creation of your children. I like to think of the 5th house as having your fingerprints and DNA all over it because it's really the house that you have the most skin in the game in. Could be that you're getting information about your children. Could be that you're getting information about possible creative endeavors that you've been a part of. It could be that you are getting information or communication just dealing with your friends. It could be more of a social time for you. Now, on February 10th or 11th, depending on where you live on the planet, we are going to be experiencing a lunar eclipse at 22 degrees of Leo. This is occurring in your 11th house. The Sabian symbol that is associated with 22 degrees of Leo reads, "In a circus, the bareback rider displays her dangerous skill." Sabian symbols were created by a clairvoyant psychic named Elsie Wheeler, and they are used to represent 0 to 30 degrees of each zodiac sign of the astrological wheel. And I meditated on this, and what I thought about, honestly, during my meditation was the actual pictorial representation of what the Sabian symbol reads. I pictured a circus rider on a horse riding bareback, and it was like a still frame image in my mind. But I thought about the poise and the grace, the skill, the determination, the time, patience, and grace that it takes to learn how to ride a horse bareback and be able to maintain your position on a moving animal and to literally become one with that animal. There's some synchronicity in the Sabian symbols for this eclipse season that I feel is tied to the Saturn square Neptune vibrations that we felt all throughout 2016. I feel like the lessons that are coming through these eclipses somehow are peppered with that vibratory echo, if you will. Now, the 11th house is ruled by Aquarius. It is the house of your friends, your groups, the memberships, associations, and teams that you may be a part of. It deals with your future wishes, goals, and dreams as well. The 11th house is also the house of the internet. So it could be that there is a closure or an ending or a resolution, possibly involving a female, dealing with 11th house matters. Lunar eclipses are associated with changes, resolutions, and endings in situations that sometimes we have no control over. Eclipses bring change, so adopt a growth mindset, and that will help with the energy shifts that you will be enduring during this eclipse season. And everybody's very sensitive during eclipse season as well. If you have a Leo in your life, they're going to be very sensitive. If you have a Pisces in your life, they're going to be very sensitive. If they have strong energies in either one of those zodiac signs, gonna probably be sensitive. But we're all a little sensitive. Moving on the 18th or 19th of February, depending on where you live on the planet, we're going to have the Sun moving into Pisces, meeting up with Neptune. This is your 6th house. From here on out, it's going to be 6th house energy for the rest of the month. The stuff I'm going to talk about anyways. The 6th house is ruled by Virgo, and that is the house of work and health, or the competency and skills that you bring to the services that you provide. It also deals with your the daily grind and your daily to-do list and what you do and how you do it on the daily. It's very much a daily grind house as well. Now, on the 25th or 26th of the month, we've got a solar eclipse at 8 degrees of Pisces. This solar eclipse is going to be Neptunian influenced. And Neptune is the planet that is known for nebulousness, illusion, and imagination. It's also the planet that is associated with addiction and dreams. It's a watery planet, so it could be emotional as well. The Sabian symbol that's associated with this solar eclipse is a jockey spurs his horse, intent on outdistancing his rivals. And what I thought about again was a snapshot picture of a jockey riding a horse trying to win like a horse race. And I thought about the determination and the skill, the poise, the grace, all of the things that I mentioned before, and how the rider once again has to become one with this animal that has a mind of its own as well. And the reason that I feel as though there is synchronicity between these Sabian symbols and the Saturn square Neptune issues that we dealt with in 2016 really comes from the idea of the rider of the horse and the horse becoming one. Because one of the symbols of Sagittarius is the centaur, and that's half man, half horse. And Saturn is in Sagittarius, and we're having a solar eclipse in Pisces, where Neptune has been for a while, and Saturn squared Neptune all throughout 2016. It was a lot of the issues behind the border issues and all of the flooding that we experienced. It was dealing with refugee issues as well, and just among some of those things. But just some examples of Saturn square Neptune and how it can play out. Where I live in Louisiana, the chart ruler of Louisiana's birth chart, when Louisiana became a state, is Neptune. And Saturn squared Neptune a lot. Louisiana had a lot of budget issues. We were finding out a lot of the things that we thought, the rainy day funds that we thought were still there, weren't there. Higher education is being cut again and again and again. There was a lot of flooding in the state of Louisiana, in North and South Louisiana, in 2016, and that's just to name a couple of things. Not to mention the refugee crisis that was occurring on the other side of the globe from where I live right now. Kind of a tangent, sorry. But the fact that the solar eclipse is occurring in the 6th house for you, Libra, is a really good indicator. It's a really good omen of new beginnings in the work and health sector. This could be anything from new or improved health within the next 6 months because you've decided to change your diet or your workout regimen. Paying attention to your health, taking your vitamins. If it's not that, it could be that you are starting a new job or the process of a new job finding its way to you. It will be initiated through the solar eclipse. Just be careful because Neptune is influenced here. Make sure that you have all of the details. And if this is something that occurs within the 6-month period that eclipses usually have for us, then try to make sure that if this is a job that you're not dealing with any of the negotiations or anything during a Mercury retrograde phase as well. So heads up, forewarned is forearmed, Libra. Now on the 25th or 26th of the month, Mercury, the planet of thought, movement, and communication, is moving into Pisces, meeting up with the Sun and Neptune. So Mercury moving into the 6th house now could be that you're getting information about your work or your health, or it could be that you are thinking about going back to school or trying to get another feather in your cap, if you will, adding more skills to what you can do. If that's not the case, you could be researching new diet techniques, you could be researching new workout methods, all kinds of different things. But Mercury moving in there, it also could be that you just want to start moving your body for your health and for health purposes, which would be good because you're working with that energy of the eclipse and it's happening on the very same day, so it would make it even more powerful. So that's what's going on for February's astrology, Libra. What I'm going to do now is transition over to the cards. But before I start shuffling on camera for you, I'm going to show you the card boxes. I intend on pulling one Sage Goddess Gemstone Oracle card for you. And I also intend on pulling a Sacred Rebels Oracle card. This deck is by Elena Fairchild, and the artwork is by Autumn Sky Morrison. It's a real fan favorite. I happen to enjoy it very much. It's one of the first Oracle decks that I bought for myself online. And it really spoke to me through Amazon. I have Uranus in the 1st house natally, so I definitely felt a connection with it almost instantly. And I really am quite a fan of Elena Fairchild's decks. So you had a card fall. That is a symbol for me to go ahead and cut the deck, so that is what I'm going to do now. And I'm still going to pull your 4 cards. So the card that fell is most certainly and absolutely a lagniappe card. To my new viewers, or those who haven't heard me explain it yet, lagniappe means a little something extra here in Louisiana. It's a word that we use to signify you're getting a little something extra. So you've got a lagniappe card. I've got your 3 cards. I took the bottom card for the underlying theme or the overarching energy and the top 3 for clarity. I didn't articulate that while I was doing it. From the Sacred Rebels Oracle deck, as I was saying while I was shuffling the tarot cards, I really like Elena Fairchild's Oracle decks. And while I'm shuffling as well, I want to use this time to remind you that these are general readings. So if you don't resonate with the messages that are given to you in this reading, that's fine. It's understandable. Just know that you have more than just Libra in you, dear love. You have a piece of each of the zodiac in you because you have 12 signs in your chart. It's just the way that it is. Check your sun, your moon, and your rising sign. If you don't know what that is, you can Google the words free natal chart and type in your birth information. And if you can't figure out where your moon and your rising sign are, you can send me a screenshot of your chart and I will tell you those placements. You can reach me at sweettastro@gmail.com. I already cut the deck, so top card of the Sacred Rebels deck and from the Sage Goddess Gemstone Oracle deck for my lovely Libras for this February. I also want to let you know that I'm going to be around for the mid-month videos, and I'm going to try to do a little something extra as well in conjunction with this eclipse season that's occurring in February and Valentine's Day, as well as the Venus retrograde, kind of an extra little reading or something is what I'm inspired to do, but I've got to get a couple of other things done first, and I've just recently started back school, so yeah, it's fixing to get fun. That's alright, I can do it. Okay. Now, Libra, what I'm going to do is hit the pause button really quick, turn these cards over, do the tarot math, and I'll be right back with your story. Hang tight, y'all. Hey, Libra, I'm back with your cards, so let's get started. The card that fell while I was shuffling is the first card of the Major Arcana. It's the Fool. Now, it's the first card of the Major Arcana, but it's listed as a 0. And I see this as an eclipse card. The eclipses are occurring in your 11th and 6th houses. The Fool card represents, I feel like this is dealing with the solar eclipse towards the end of the month. But I see this as an eclipse card. It could be representative for the lunar eclipse for some of you. I would say about half. For some of you, it's the lunar. For the others, it's the solar. Regardless. The Fool card represents the planet Uranus. Uranus is the planet of shocks and surprises and rebellion. And it's also the planet of change. Which is interesting because eclipses bring change. Now, this card indicates it's an innocence. There's a lot of trust involved, but it could be like very naive as well. Notice this character isn't even paying attention to what's going on, has very little of their possessions with them, and very close to the sun. It's almost like the possessions being burned up or evaporated or something. This little flower as well, too close to the sun, in my opinion. The symbology, it's like it's being burned up or shadowed out in some way. Also, down here at the feet, he's not paying attention to his next step or what's going on. There's a dog right here as well, which reemphasizes for me the solar eclipse, because solar eclipse is in the 6th house, and that's ruled by Virgo. Virgo, very much animal-loving part of the zodiac. Not that other people aren't animal lovers, but you'll find that animals will gravitate more to people who have a decent amount of Virgo energy or has strong placements in Virgo. Now, Uranus is in Aries right now, which is your 7th house, and that's the house of your partnerships and relationships and how you identify who you are through those interactions with those people in your life. And I feel like this is bringing a change to you. This will be a change, in my opinion, through work or health. Some of y'all health. But the majority of y'all, it's work. It's like somebody new comes in, and it could be somebody that you really, really take a liking to. Even if you're in a relationship, attractions happen. They don't have to be acted on, but to expect that your significant other isn't going to be attracted to other people is kind of it's kind of unreasonable. But expecting them not to act on those attractions is completely reasonable. Let me make that clear. We also are going to be experiencing Venus moving into that 7th house. And with Venus being your ruling planet, Libra, Venus is going to be moving from Aries back into Pisces and then back into Aries, called a retrograde motion, very, very soon. This will be occurring through March and April. So, I have a feeling your love life is going to be getting very interesting very soon. If not through work, then through the internet or like trying to better your health in some way. So that's interesting. And this is just the first card. And I'm already at 22 minutes, but I've been a little long-winded in this video anyways. Sorry, I'll have it time-stamped. The underlying theme or overarching energy of this spread is the Three of Pentacles. The 3 up top represents the 3rd house on the astrological wheel for me. That house is ruled by Gemini. That's the house of communication, short-distance trips. It deals with your siblings, your cousins, your neighbors, and people that you deal with in your neighborhood, people on your level. Communication is a broad area when you stop and truly think about it. Communication is how you speak. It's how people interpret you. It's how you interpret others. It's how you digest and consume information as well. It's also your communication devices and your vehicle, as well as your commute. Now, when I see this card, the very first thing I think about is your car keys or your house keys, because this looks like a key to me. Right in here. Like an old-timey key. The pentacles represent earth sign energy, and the earth signs are Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. Spoken a lot about that Virgo. A lot of 6th house energy. Virgo rules the 6th house. The pentacles represent as well money or resources or things that you would expend on another living thing or situation. And that would be resources you have at hand, things that you already have in your possession. That could be your money. Your health is also a resource. Love, time, devotion, energy, all of these types of things. Now, this card in itself is, for me, a card of apprenticeship. This individual is displaying his skills for other critical eyes to watch and see what he's doing. You've got Saturn in your 3rd house. Saturn is the taskmaster. Saturn is limitation, structure, and containment. So you may have been having a difficult time with your siblings, your cousins, or your neighbors, people in your neighborhood, or in communication issues as well. You may have been having a hard time with your phone or your car. But Saturn likes to watch over and make sure that you're doing it right, kind of like this as well. So I just looked down at the I have down here in my notes as well planetary placements for y'all, and that just clicked for me. So Saturn being there, it can feel very constricted. Maybe that you don't have a vehicle and you want a vehicle and you're trying to save up for one, but stuff always happens. Something like that. The first card in the top 3 for clarity that you received is the Ten of Swords. And it looks bad, doesn't it? The only good thing I can say about this card is that it is the most swords you are going to get in this suit. You are not going to see any more swords than what there's going on right now. So that's the good thing, right? Let's break this down. The 10 represents the 10th house on the astrological wheel for me. That is ruled by Capricorn. That's your career, that's your status, that's your reputation, that's dealing with authorities, authority figures, authorities in your world. That could be dealing with authorities in their field like an expert. It's also a house of destiny. What I like to think of when I think of the 10th house is William Shakespeare said, all the world is a stage, and I like to think of the 10th house as how you approach the world, and it's how the world knows you. It's that stage that you approach the world on, and it's how the world knows you. Your status and your reputation are things that could be changed online, like from being single to in a relationship to it's complicated to it's married to divorced to just that entire spectrum. And your status can also change from being a couple to being parents. And I know quite a few Librans who are pregnant. So if you are one of those lovely Libras out there who is expecting, congratulations. You may be dealing with back pain. That may be why this is showing up. The swords represent air sign energy. The air signs are Gemini, you, Libra, and Aquarius. The swords also represent the mental faculties and could also sometimes represent surgery, just depending. The majority background color here is black. You've got black in the Three of Pentacles as well, so I want to remind you that it is always darkest before dawn, and that is pretty much the entire representation of what this card is right here. There's been a lot of emotions, a lot of tears shed in this area for you, this part of life. It could have been, there could be a lot of emotions welling up for you during this period of time as well. This card represents being backstabbed, feeling completely defeated, completely done. This is just... it's a card of defeat for me. It can also represent wanting, needing, or possibly researching acupuncture. That may be something that would be very beneficial for you after the solar eclipse towards the end of the month. Acupuncture would be something that you would want to research on or around the solar eclipse, 25th or 26th of the month. The second card that you received is the Page of Cups. The Page of Cups is, well, the cups represent water sign energy. The water signs are Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. We are having that solar eclipse in Pisces. That's occurring in your 6th house, the house of work and health, the daily grind, the daily to-do list. The cups also represent emotional things that emotionally validate you, things that fill you up, make you feel whole and emotionally sustain you. It could be relationships, but it doesn't have to be. It's just those things that close to the heart. Whenever I see the cups or think of the cups matters, I think of my cup runneth over, that sort of thing. So you could very well be dealing with a Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces, or it could just be indicating this Pisces solar eclipse that's occurring towards the end of the month for you. But this Page of Cups, if it's representing an individual, then they are, I don't want to say childish, but if it's a an older individual, someone who should be acting more mature, they're not. They act more childish. Or it could be that they're just younger. This could also be involving possibly your child, because I see the pages as messengers. Could possibly be talking about that Mercury moving into Aquarius in the 5th house, getting a message about your kid in some way. Or if it's not about your kid, it could be a really kind of flirty message of love in some way as well, because Mercury's moving into that 5th house. But this individual is on their way to being emotionally intelligent. If they are working from a lower vibration, then they could be really moody. It just really depends on the person. The final card that was pulled for you is the Two of Cups, and it is the Minor Arcana Lovers card. The 2 is representative of the 2nd house, and that house is ruled by Taurus. It's the house of your money, possessions, earning ability, and self-esteem. It is the house of mine. If you could point to it, introduce it, classify it, quantify it, put a sticker on it, say it's mine, it would probably qualify as a 2nd house item. And that includes your relationships, because you introduce your partner or spouse, whoever, as my significant other. Now, I feel like this is dealing with the lunar eclipse in Leo, because we've got the lion's head right here. Whenever I see a lion, I feel as though that is indicative of Leo showing up. Now, the Major Arcana Lovers card is ruled by Gemini, so a Gemini may be important to you in some way. Just throwing that out there, but doesn't have to. But for some of you, it may. Once again, the Cups cards are water sign energy related. The water signs are Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. This is very much like the meeting of the minds, being able to look somebody in the eye and see where they're coming from and feeling as though you're on the same page with them. During your social activities, because I feel like your social life is going to perk up in some way for some of you Libras. If you are of that group that is having the social upswing, please be careful with your drinking. Please do not drink and drive. Whenever I see the cups like this, it makes me feel like overindulgence could be possible. Two of Cups. It's an interesting spread, especially with the Fool showing up. Watch that 7th house, because Venus is going to be playing through it throughout the early spring. I did the tarot math for you. It ended up being 15. 1 plus 5 is 6, and that is very synchronistic for where this solar eclipse is occurring for the 2nd half of the month. So I feel like that's going to be something that you're definitely going to look back a year from now and say, yeah, that was powerful and it hit me in this way, in this house. So, 6th house, work and health, the house of Virgo. Competency and skills that you bring to the services that you provide. And it also deals with your daily work, your to-do list, what you need to get done on a daily basis and how you get it done, the manner and method that you do. It's very much a to-do list kind of energy. So, let's move on. The Sage Goddess Gemstone Oracle card that I pulled for you is the Shungite card. It deals with cleansing, purification, and transformation. It helps heal and amplify the vibrations of the root chakra. It reads, Shungite is a grounding stone, known as the Great Purifier. It removes unwanted energies and impurities from people, places, and spaces while healing the lower chakras. You have pulled this card because you need to release any negativity residing within your auric body. Meditate with Shungite to free yourself from harmful emotions, to filter energies around you, and to feel deeper alignment. The Sacred Rebels Oracle card that was pulled for you is the After the Storm card. I know, right? Okay, so this is the first card in the Sacred Rebels Oracle deck. I can't help but notice the moon in the background. And you are having the lunar eclipse in your 11th house. Now, this is the first card, but I think that one is pretty telling as well, because you double it and then it is an 11, or you mirror it, however you want to look at it, however you want to say it. Also, I would like for you, if you feel so drawn, to look up or Google what the owl symbology is, be it spirit animal or spirit totem, however you choose to look it up. There could be resonant messages for you in those readings as well. For me, the owls always represent knowledge, wisdom, deeper understanding, and higher understanding as well, like from an elevated perspective, being able to unlock those mysteries or unravel the mysteries a little bit more. Being a bird of prey, it's got a keen sense to themselves and able to see things from a different perspective, unique to their own. Now, when I see this card, I really, well, it being the number one card indicates or speaks to your first house. The first house is the house of your physical embodiment and who you are. It's how the world sees you. It's your personality, it's your appearance, it's your physical body. It's you. You have Jupiter in the first house. So Jupiter is blessing you in a major way in your first house. It could be, like I said, there are a lot of Libras that I know that are pregnant. And if you aren't a Libra that is pregnant, then you may be dealing with some extra pounds. Especially you Libra risings, because Jupiter expands wherever it goes. When I see this card, I instantly think of a storm warning. And I think it's appropriate because, I mean, eclipses, for those who aren't expecting them and don't pay attention to the cycles and live day to day and not really pay attention to the larger stories in our life, it can very much feel like a storm blowing in and blowing out each eclipse season. So you're under a storm warning, Libra. But understand that there can be no rainbows without the rain. And if you've been praying for help, the universe is literally stepping in and stepping forward and shaking things up to allow room for your life to change, sometimes very dramatically. You're asking for help, and the universe says, okay, and your little world gets shook up like a snow globe, and there's no controlling where the pieces fall. You just asked for change, and change means help. Help means change. Allow the storm to cleanse and renew you, the situation, the circumstances. Allow the storm to rage within you and around you and release it. Allow the storm to run its course. You can't outrun this. buckle down, hunker down, pay attention to the storm warnings, but do not allow the storm to swallow you whole. Do not fear the storm. Allow it to clear your path. Alright, Libra, I hope that you're well. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. And if you already have, I thank you from the bottom of my very grateful heart. I don't know what the problem is with my voice, but I'm going to try to get that fixed before the next video. Thank you so much for sticking around. And like I said earlier, I will be around for the mid-month readings. Got to get this series done first. And hopefully I can get that extra series done. See if I can't squeeze a little bit more time out of this January month. Alright, y'all. Take care of yourselves. Please be kind to yourselves and save some kindness for others, because we're all going through particular battles in our world that some of us may never speak about to another living soul. Until next time, Libra. Namaste, and bye, y'all.